gonna get that down one day. So first of all, hi Wendy. Hey, your host, Big Ski is Faith. I got my girl Wendy with me. And this is it's on a podcast where we talk about TV, movies, the good stuff that comes on. And for those of you who watch along with us, we are excited for you to
Now
join.
I'm on live.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought I.
Okay. Um, so we definitely want to say thanks for tuning in for the viewers that we have had. If you can catch us live, we normally go live between 7 and 8 o'clock on a Monday night. We have a set time, but we really don't because we may have something to do. It's the beginning of the week. We do apologize because yesterday we did not do the episode of the size up, and I didn't even announce it. But there was an emergency situation that came up, so we had to postpone the episode of the size up, which I was okay with because I stayed in bed and snacked all day, and and
I'm jealous.
yeah, I know you are, poor baby. I stayed in bed and I snacked all day, and I binge watched the what's the name of the show? The woman sitting in the window across the street from the little girl. Is that the name of it?
The woman's across the woman in the house across the street from the girl in the chair or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a long one.
It
Something
has
like that.
Kristen Bell is starring in it. Of course, Michael Ealy as well. It's it has some twists and turns. And I enjoyed it. A lot of people were like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, it was some stupid stuff that took place and happened, but I really enjoyed the actual story and the twist and turn. And I did not figure it out until this time I ain't figure it out. I just want you to know. I didn't figure it out. I don't know, Wendy. I don't know if you're gonna figure it out.
Like I said, I'm just on episode 1, so
Okay. But I'm just saying, I just want you to just start letting your wheels turn to see if you figure out. We might do a review on that.
mhm.
Also, we cannot let a moment go by without wishing our producer, Paul Briggs, a very happy birthday.
Happy
Um,
birthday,
it
Paul
is his
Paul.
birthday. I hope he is somewhere celebrating, recording a game or something. But y'all
We
give him
miss you.
a piece of cake. We
We
do. We
miss you.
absolutely miss you, Paul. Don't do us like Heather did us and just go.
Just disappear. Just say, you know what? Forget all of y'all.
Right. Well, we would like for you to come back into the fold, sir, because this producing thing is not my steez. I'm still learning. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord. Missionary Baptist Church. Okay, so tonight we're gonna delve into Janet. It was a 2-night documentary event. I made sure I was available to watch it all. Even when I got in, I think Saturday I was out a little past my bedtime. And I came home and I watched Janet after the fact. So there are some takeaways that we're going to highlight. We might be able to get through this in this episode. If not,
I think we should
create
do
two
part
parts.
1 today and then part 2 next week.
That's fine. I'm just telling you, we might be able to get through because there's some stuff I wasn't surprised about. It was some stuff I was surprised about. So we'll get into it. But first, our weekly roundup. Now we've cut some things out. We cut some shows out because first of all, we watch entirely too much TV. That's number one. Number two, we wanted to give more time to Janet tonight. And it's probably gonna be the same way on the next episode. So if you're looking for some of your favorites that may not be on here, we're gonna get you caught up. So just bear with us and be patient. I don't need to be wearing shirts like this. This is giving me the creeps. Okay. So this week on And Just Like That, Carrie Allport. Let me tell y'all something. I feel horrible for Steve.
I feel so bad for Steve. You know what? I'm pissed. I don't know who this Miranda is, but it's not the Miranda that I knew from Sex in the City. Now I don't know if it's because she's now a lesbian and has been for decades, but she was a lesbian when they
She
were
was a
still
lesbian when the
doing
show was on.
right. So
I
why
don't.
all of a sudden? Hold on, just let me say this, okay? So Miranda in the Sex and the City theory, in the series, she was the pessimist. She did not believe in all the love junk and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
Now
absolutely.
all of a sudden, she had one experience with a woman, and she got to go right off to see Che. Come on
And
now.
they're gonna be together.
And she's the same person that told Carrie when she was about to go to Paris with that Russian, you're living in a fairy tale.
What if Carrie had a gone with the Russian? What do we
She
think
she
would have happened?
did. She did. She went with the Russian.
I mean, I know that, but I'm saying, like, what if that had worked out? This would have been a different series, and then we wouldn't be on the table about next week's episode. But I digress. So Steve, the girls are invited out to a volunteer assignment. I don't know if it's like Girls and Boys Club or something where they need the building painted and they got some repairs and stuff that need to be done. And so Miranda has petitioned everybody to come and join in and help
Mm-hmm.
paints and that sort of thing in the building. Carrie was like, I'll just write a check, and they was like, don't be that white lady, don't be the white lady that write the check. So um so um so they ended up having to go and paint. And of course, everybody was on board, all hands on deck, even Steve and her son. I keep forgetting that man's name. What's the baby?
Brady.
Brady. Even Stephen Brady showed up, which I was shocked. But it was her teacher, her professor's event. Her professor does a lot of work in the community, so this is one of the community organizations that the professor works with. Um, and
I
she
really
organized
think
it.
that thing that they was doing was really to keep her husband's mind off of having kids, which
It's not
didn't
gonna
work.
happen. So and so let's talk about that. And I keep forgetting the professor's name because they sprinkle her story in and out.
I
Um,
found it. Go ahead,
okay.
talk about it.
So the professor and the husband, all throughout the series, they've been trying for kids, and she's literally tired. She's tired of going through the IVF treatment. She don't know why it's not working, and at this point, she has come to the consensus that maybe it's just not meant for us to have kids. Now, I don't know why neither one of them thought to adopt. I don't know why the pressure on her.
Her, her name is Dr. Naya Wallace.
Okay, Dr. Nia Wallace. I do not know because nowadays it's easier to get into an adoption type of situation, whereas
Mm-hmm.
going through the pregnancy and carrying a child, and we have friends that they adopted, um,
Mm-hmm.
because they could not have, and I don't know what's wrong with that and why
Mm-mm.
why is there pressure on her to carry a child? I understand you want to leave a legacy, you want to do this, you want to do that, but at the end of the day, that's too much on her body. And let me also say this.
Didn't she have like many miscarriages
She's
and
had
stuff?
multiple miscarriages. She's gone through IVF treatments like crazy, like clockwork, trying to make it work. And I don't know why there's this growing pressure on women to have kids. Everybody's not meant to have children. My aunt and my uncle, my aunt, rest her soul, she just passed this past year, but they always wanted kids, always wanted children. Both of them have a degree in education. She was like a phenomenal teacher. She does not have one student that did not love her. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And instead of her having a baby of her own, she had many babies. They always had kids over their house. They got to travel and do things that typically you can't do when you got kids. Not necessarily because they cost about as much as trips to do. So they got to kind of experience life and see the world and do some different things. But she always wanted a child. That's what they've always wanted. And I understand the want. But at one point, do we say, listen, we need to stop, pump the brakes, let's pivot, let's look at something else or look into something else. I don't like the pressure that her husband is putting on her to have a child when it's just not in the cards and it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna
So
happen.
what's gonna happen is he's gonna get with somebody else and they're gonna get her pregnant.
I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think we only got one more episode of this season, so
I'm thinking that we're done because the reason why I say that is because they normally have what's coming up. Now, it could be either they don't know how they're gonna do the finale since this stuff is going on with about Chris North and all of that kind of stuff, because it was supposed to be she would go to Paris and she's dumping his ashes in the Parisian River, whatever, but we don't know.
But you know what? I think that I don't even understand why there is a question, and the reason why I say I don't understand why there's a question is edit that man out. Period. Just edit him out. You don't have to show his ghost. You don't have to show his ghost. Y'all could do some post-credit editing and edit him out. We know who Big was. That's not going to change anything. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know why we couldn't have a no. They're saying that it's scheduled to be released on this Thursday.
Okay.
So that's what I'm reading, but maybe they don't want to show it because they probably didn't show the preview because he's in it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. But I definitely would have edited that man out. When y'all first found out about this scandal and y'all knew y'all was going to drop him like a hot potato, they should have gone ahead and edited him out of that last episode. Well, poor Charlotte and Lily. Lily finds out that she got her period and she's getting a period for the second time in a month, and they're supposed to be going to the Hamptons for the summer, somebody's birthday party or whatever. The Hamptons for somebody's birthday party, maybe not the summer. And she's freaking out because she's only taught the girls how to do pads. They haven't done the tampons. So Lily is trying to learn how to do tampons, and her mom, they have a dinner and the food done got burnt because she's in the bathroom trying to teach her baby how to put on a tampon.
And then Charlotte's thinking that she's going through menopause because she hasn't received her period in 4 months.
Right. And she has a flash period at the paint event.
At the end.
She got all white. I know painters normally wear white, but girls, really? This is what we're doing?
Now, if I get my period, then you know what I'm about to do.
Sue. And just give me, I just want to borrow like, $1,000, friend. That's all I want. Look. So Steve and they have partners painting, and Steve and Carrie partners up.
And why did Steve put her in that position to say something? He's like, you gonna have me ratting on my girl? Really? I ain't gonna rat on my girl.
That's why she stepped in that bucket of paint. Y'all excuse me, I'm so hungry. I'm about to die.
Well, you know what? PEBT cars are coming back. I told you, right?
Yeah, you told me that.
Okay.
I can't wait.
I've been checking every day.
That's so unprofessional. Oh my God. I'm so hungry. So he's cornered Carrie to find out how long this has been going on. Carrie's like,
and it sounds like he ain't giving her that divorce either.
No. They're not divorcing. He said he ain't never taking that ring off. I don't care what Miranda say. He said, don't you want to find somebody that want to do what you want to do?
Man, I'm like, where is he going? Well, my husband did say we wasn't gonna ever get a divorce. We might just sleep in separate. We sleeping in separate rooms. So if we get to that point, we can't stand one another. We sleep in separate bedrooms.
Grandma and my granddaddy had they had separate houses. They had separate addresses. Okay. The day he died, she handled all his funeral arrangements and everything. And we was shocked because I was like, y'all, they were still married. They never got a divorce. ever. She had her house, he had his house, and that's what it was. Period. That's what it was. So, yeah. I don't know how this is gonna work for them. I don't know what that dynamic is because he was like, "We are still a family." You know, he doesn't want to divorce Miranda. That's the love of his life. At the end of the day, yeah, they're not doing certain things. But let me also say this: they're not doing certain things because yes, she likes girls or whatever, and she claims she on the show she claims she's not a lesbian. It's just she's attracted to Shay. But
to them,
huh?
To them,
Right. Well, I'm just saying that's what she said. That's what her character is saying. That it's not about being a lesbian. It's not about being with a woman. It's about being with Shay. I don't think that Steve has problems doing the do. I think that because she's hung up on Shay, it's a problem for her because they hadn't had sex. But girl, initiate. You better get on your husband. What you mean that you ain't had sex because you ain't got on that man? That's what it is. I'm just saying.
But then she tried, and you saw what happened.
Because she wanted that same chemistry that she had in Carrie's kitchen with Shay.
Yeah, that's right. She did do that though.
Yeah, you know, something that Poe Carrie. I know her. I know her eyes are burned. Her ears are burned.
So she saw Samantha give a delivery guy a BJ.
Yeah, poor baby. My eyes.
She's like, okay, I may write about sex, but man, dang, come on.
She don't want to see it. I wouldn't want to see my friends having sex either, though. That's not something that I would aspire to do. So, catch the last episode of this season of And Just Like That on HBO Max Thursdays. Make sure y'all check it out. I don't know if there's gonna be a second season of And Just Like That.
I think it may be. Come on.
I would like to see maybe a different version of Sex in the City, not with the Golden Girls, but with another group of
you mean her roommate? I mean her neighbor?
Maybe her neighbor. That's a rumor that's going around that they may do a reboot with the neighbor. The neighbor is not from New York City. She moved from California. They kind of gave a little bit of her backstory. So
and she gave Carrie a necklace or something. Did she give her a necklace or a ring?
It was something about the rings. I have to go back and watch. I'm not sure. But it's something about the rings. She also almost lost Big's wedding ring. That was the other thing because she put Big's wedding ring on and took hers off.
Oh, it was a ring because she still had her wedding ring on.
Right.
And then the girl was asking her, well, where is he? I don't see him. And she was like, oh, he's gone. He's been gone. You know, he's gone far away, long distance. He died.
Yeah, because the girl didn't catch on to what she was saying. Poor baby. She didn't catch on. Okay, well, let's move on.
Moving right along.
Ooh.
Girl, Alyssa, let me speak.
I'm gonna let you have it, friend. I need to find a biscuit or something because I'm real hungry. Keep going.
Okay, you can put yourself off the camera so
right. I don't y'all need to see that.
Okay, so everybody's married.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's spent their first night in the in their hotel suite, except for Alyssa and Chris. So basically, Alyssa has a type. She likes those bodybuilders, tall, dark, handsome, with the straight teeth type of guy. So when she walked down the aisle and she saw Chris in that snaggletooth, she was like disgusted. Okay.
So wait a minute, Chris don't have no teeth? What?
No, he got a snaggletooth on the side. Like
that you could go to the dentist and get fixed?
Girl, yes. So that's her hang up, girl. And so they always have a thing where the bride and the groom talks to their spouse's family just to get to know them. Right. And this is what I don't like. People, if you're going to be on Married at First Sight, please tell your family, do not say anything negative. Because they're going to take it and run with it. So his friends told Alyssa that he can be quite condescending. And so she make this worn, drawn out story that she was in a relationship, then the guy was condescending and all that kind of jazz. Now you just was not attracted to him because of the way he looks.
And ain't nothing wrong with
Okay.
Chris. Ain't nothing wrong with
He,
Chris at all.
he looks good to me. And so they go to the honeymoon. I don't think they even sit together.
No,
They ain't even sit
so
together.
she requested another room, is what happened.
She,
And so they gave her the room with twin beds, and rightfully so. And they gave him the room with the big bed.
mm-hmm.
And I was okay with it.
And I guess she was not okay with it.
I don't care what she's okay with, the heifer. Because I was so mad at her after she was disrespectful to Keisha on the after party.
Girl, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Okay, so we're gonna put Alyssa aside. Lindsay and Mark the Shock. Lindsay, she is way out there. I like her, but she's way out there.
I don't like Lindsay.
And I mean, I just, I think she's trying to do too much because it's cameras. That's what I'm thinking, that she's trying to do too much because it's cameras, and she's trying for.
No, ma'am. Did you not hear her daddy and her brother?
I did hear her.
Her dad and her brother said she is too much. Let me tell you something. When they did the first special, I knew there was something wrong with Lindsay then. I said, she's going to be a problem. A whole problem. She about to be a problem.
But apparently,
Mark.
But apparently, she asks Elijah if he speaks the language, and he says no. And I guess she criticizes him, and he don't like that. And so as he was about to walk away, his wife is a Katana.
Yeah,
he's married to Katana. She was about to go after her.
Because let me tell you why. Because Lindsay said she was ready to fight Elijah one. So Katana was like, "Oh, you fighting? Hold on, baby. Hold on, let me turn my camera back on. Oh, you fighting? That's what we doing."
You ain't fighting my husband. And I guess Elijah said, "Yeah, I got mine. Mine's why to die." I'm just what I'm saying. He like, you don't have to fight me. Don't fight. I'm not gonna fight her. If she wants to fight me, my wife got my back.
My wife got
because I don't hit women. And so I guess did they decide that they wanted to ride on a different bus, or did production?
They made a decision to get on another bus, and that was at the request of Lindsay, because of course she wanted to play victim at that point. That's why I can't. Let me tell you something. During the times of Emmett Till and the civil rights movement and all that stuff, she would have been the privileged white woman that's a part of the problem. She would have been that woman. You cannot convince me otherwise. She would have been that woman.
Okay. So, and then another thing that I didn't like, what's the guy's name? The other guy, not Elijah one, but the other one, the other black guy.
Oh my God. I know his name.
Well, his parents, his mom. No. His sisters.
Because they don't have, I think the mom is dead.
Parents, yeah. His mom had died of cancer, and I think the dad died too. Okay. His sisters told Jasmina. Is that her name, Jasmina?
Yeah, that's her name.
I'm still trying to get these names, folks, so please forgive me. Well, said that he doesn't see things optimistically.
He's a realist. And that's what they probably should have said instead of the way that they said what they said.
And what happened? She kind of looked at him kind of differently, right?
Yeah, she did.
People, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Stop.
I agree.
Because you're going to mess it up for them to really figure out who they are. Okay. Now, these folks are on Steve, Foy, and Noy because Steve is not employed with somebody 9 to 5. People, he's a freelance. Whatever he does it freelance. Okay, that means that he still gets money coming in, but he doesn't clock in.
So let me pause. Steve is freelancing, but Steve is working whenever he feels like it. In order for you to have a family, you can't be no freelance unless you're getting paid the guappy guap.
But then think about it though. How you traveling for 4 months?
He probably
He
had a
got some
nice
money.
savings. He probably had a nice savings from the job because he just lost his job during the pandemic. The pandemic ain't been that long. So he probably
Right.
had a good savings and a good nest egg. But I just feel like if he wanted to sleep on an RV for a year or two, he would do that. That is not family. I'm sorry. If I'm talking about I want to start a family, not I need a job. Even if you're a consultant, let's do consultant work. Let's not be a freelancer because freelancer make it seem like, well, if I feel like it, consultants do the same thing, but consultant sounds, but it's the way they're wording these things. And his whole family basically done call him a vagabond.
Basically, because he's not working a typical
Because he's
nine
not
to
working a
five.
typical job. So I would like to think that they vetted this man, but I don't. Previous seasons has told me that they haven't vetted everybody, not completely, not to the point to where they know for sure that these folk are ready to be married. And he doesn't seem in a hurry to work on said plans because you got to, if you're in a marriage, you have to have a plan for your life as a married couple. I'm sorry, I just don't see. I see more of I do freelance work and just whenever I want to, if I want to sit in a hammock all day, that's what I'm gonna do. I can't, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. She wants a family. She wants a lot of kids. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. I don't.
Okay, so basically they just now getting into the hotels and everything, and each couple's having their own, their own moments and stuff. Now Alyssa, basically, Chris called her out and said, "You lying? I think you're lying. Basically, I think you're lying about that you're not attracted to me, basically, but you're trying to make it seem like you're trying, but you're not."
And she's not.
And she got hot. She got so
You
hot.
call me a liar, but you are a liar. But you're basically a liar. You have misrepresented yourself for this show so you could be on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. So, hey.
And so at the after party, Keisha, she gives her an opportunity to tell her side of the story because she said, "Well, let me tell you how it appears." And the girl was not having it, and she
that girl
walked out.
out.
And see, this is
helpful.
And then this is where I have a little bit of respect for Elijah Wan because he called it. He said, "Let me tell you what happened. That girl saw him and was not attracted. So whatever his friend said, she took it and she ran with it.
And that was her way out.
And that was her way out."
Yep.
So now I can't wait to see what it's going to be like next episode.
We'll see. Check out Meredith First Sight Wednesdays on Lifetime at 8/7 Central. Let me tell y'all something.
Well, you can talk about this one.
I feel so sorry for this baby. I don't know what to do. I really, really. Part of me don't, but part of me really, really do because this man is really stringing her along. For real, for real.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think he really likes. I mean, he's in love with Maddie. He's just trying to get that thing back with his daddy.
But here's the thing: you ain't been successful with getting the thing back. You moving too slow, and you got this girl already manic depressive, and you got this girl thinking you back with Maddie. Basically, you ain't explaining to her what's going on. Nothing. You ain't saying nothing. And baby, okay, so Rue is finna die at some point because I think being a movie star is gonna take precedence in Zendaya's life. because she done took this suitcase full of drugs. This lady then gave her this suitcase full of drugs, and she's supposed to be selling them, but she's getting high off of her supply. That's number one. I don't know if the guy told Fez when he came over to his house that the lady gave Rue the drugs. I'm hoping that he did, but I don't know. So I'm hoping Fez will go get them drugs from Rue and do what needs to be done with the drugs, but I don't know. What did I tell you? I told you that um the baby Zendaya's girlfriend was into old boy. I gotta pull up names because this is crazy. Um, I told you she was into old boy. I told you, I called it. I said he ain't into he's not into Rue. He is into Zendaya. I mean not Zendaya. He is into Tate. That's not her name. Hold on. Gonna come to me. Oh, I'm still on news. Let me go to Al. Okay, Jules. He's into Jules, and he is into Jules. They kind of have a little thing going on, but Rue is oblivious to what is going on because Rue high. Rue is high. Okay. So they still are showing specks of Lexi's play that she's trying to do and put on. So they're doing that. Lexi has created this play, I guess, about everybody, her friends, surroundings, the school, classmates, whatever. So she has different people auditioning for the role. Then we got the daddy. So Nate's father.
I don't know what that was all about, man.
Oh, I know what that was all about. Nate's father basically told his family, of course, Nate already knew because he saw the videotapes or whatever, but Nate told his wife and his kids that, you know what?
I'm gay.
I'm out. I sleep with whoever I want to, whenever I want to. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing about it. When I was pregnant, when your mama was pregnant with you, the oldest, I was sleeping with a man while she was pregnant with you. He just really went ham.
He was drunk too. So.
Oh, he's very drunk. He was extremely drunk.
I was thinking that
flip that Jeep over. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
I thought too. I thought he was gonna hit. I thought he was gonna hit ruin them because they kept showing those two. Yeah.
I thought so too. Let's back up though. Maddie has a birthday and she has a birthday party, and they have the birthday party at Cassie's house, which is the weirdest thing to me. But okay, I digress. They have this party, and Cassie is like, I mean, dying inside because Nate shows up to the party. He gives Maddie this Tiffany necklace for her birthday. She's just drinking uncontrollably. Her mama is right there. That's what's killing me about this whole thing. Her mama is
But you see, her mama gave him the alcohol. The mama gave him the alcohol. She said, "You tell anybody that I did this, I'm gonna deny it."
That's why they had the party at Cassie's house. Okay. They get in the hot tub.
Mom. Not so cool, but she the cool mom.
Because your baby is depressed.
And you can't see it.
And you can't see it because you caught up in your own stuff. Rue's mom is very negligent too. Cause baby, if my child was a drug addict, we'd be doing searches every day. That girl got a whole suitcase full of drugs, and this woman don't know. This woman just think, oh, she going to her meeting, she fine. No. Her mama's a bit negligent too. But Cassie is dying inside, so she's gotten super drunk. Maddie and Nate has an argument in the hot tub. Cassie throws up on everybody. Her mom drags her out of the hot tub. She's apologizing to Maddie, but that apology is not for throwing up in the hot tub. That apology is for sleeping with her boyfriend. or her not boyfriend, because they haven't decided whether or not they're going to be together, because Maddie says she's not ready to be in a relationship with Nate. Meanwhile, Nate is still sleeping with Cassie. This is crazy. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen. My balls of emotions and my pressure be like this after I watch this show. Literally, it's a whole full ball of emotions, but it's some phenomenal acting. So check out Euphoria, HBO Max, 9 o'clock, or HBO, um, 10/9 Central. Um, that's it. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Go go. Here we go. Grand Crew. Let me tell y'all something. This comedy is phenomenal. I am cracking up. So this particular episode, Nikki and hold on, I gotta get names. We watch too much TV for real.
So not to be knowing names, huh?
Cause I really don't know nobody's name. I know Nikki because Nikki is her name in real life is Nicole Byer. So Noah and Nikki are brother and sister on the show. So this is not a picture of them because I didn't do a new picture this week for Grand Crew. Well, they have their father. The Noah has worked in the shop, um, Copy and Coffee, or whatever the name of the shop is, of donuts and coffee, donuts and copy. His dad is on the shop for several years, and Noah, when he graduated from college, he worked there. Well, he noticed something was wrong with his dad, and Key Lime Pie normally always helps out, but he didn't know what was going on, and his dad wouldn't talk to him, and they have this relationship where they don't talk to their father. Well, in them not talking to their father, Faye, their new friend that Noah kind of slick have a crush on, kind of helped Noah talk to his dad and get to the bottom of some things. He was thinking his dad was selling the shop because he went snooping around. Dad didn't want to admit, he kept saying everything was fine. So they actually got to talk and have a conversation. Well, meanwhile, Wyatt's brother comes into town, and Wyatt's brother was played by one of the guys that played on Superstore, and he played somebody who was in a wheelchair. And so my child and I used to watch Superstore all the time, and we saw him on the red carpet or doing something walking. He was like, wait a minute, that man ain't crippled. I said, oh Lord. No, baby, he's acting. He's a character on a show, and his character just so happens to be bound to a wheelchair. So his brother is super annoying, and he's ready for him to go back home. And his brother's like, I'm moving to California. He was like, oh my God. Especially after he slept with Nikki. That was too funny. He and his brother actually had a conversation and came to his brother kind of bullied him all throughout his life. And so he probably because he didn't know how to express emotions. And so he had to sit his brother down and have a conversation with him. He kept saying, I love you, man. Man, gone on with your big headed, da da da. I love you, man. Man, forget you, da 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 da. I love you, man. He started busting out crying. I love you too. It was funny. It was hilarious. But they got to have a conversation with their family members and have conversations. And we have those situations in families where we don't talk about our feelings or talk to our, whether it be our moms and dads, whether it be an aunt or uncle or grandparent. We don't have conversations because, back in the day, them old folk, you just went with the flow with them, out of respect or out of reverence. You did not talk about feelings. That's not what we do in the Black community. So I'm glad that they actually showcased that in this episode. It's super hilarious. Y'all make sure y'all check out Grand Crew, 8:30, 7:30 Central. Lord, I had to get there right. Comes on after the auto show, which is funny. I just don't watch it. So but it comes on NBC.
It's too many shows.
It's a lot. It's a whole lot. Abbott Elementary. I love this episode here. So this week, Janine, who is the main character, I think that's the girl name. I think it's Janine, who is the main character. Yes, I got it right. Janine, they have a kind of like a Yelp for teachers, and she got a good remark. Except somebody gave her like a bad remarks, or it brought her rating down. And she was just bragging like, I'm a good teacher. Everybody likes me. Everybody loves me. So her coworker, played by Lisa Ann Walter, Melissa had a problem child in her class named Courtney. She got Courtney transferred to Janine's class. So Courtney is very smart. Courtney makes straight A's, but Courtney is a clown. Okay, she acted a whole fool, and she's bringing everybody into her tomfoolery. It's a mess. Her classroom was in total and complete disarray. Now, keep in mind, she's a second grade teacher. Um, it was super funny. Her trying to navigate Courtney. They sat down in the corner. We could talk about our feelings. And she F your feelings. Like the little girl was just acting a whole fool. Had the different students doing crazy stuff in the classroom. It was just really crazy. So Janine went and looked at her file, and she had a really, really long, lengthy file. And she came up, and then the principal, who is not good at her job but hilarious, the principal found another file for the young lady, and she and Melissa decided that the girl needed to be bumped up a grade because she wasn't being challenged in the classroom. And the principal was like, I feel like somebody else told me that. Oh yeah, she wasn't even supposed to come to the second grade. She was supposed to be in the third grade. So they moved Courtney to the third grade to be a little bit more challenged. This gives you a depiction, a satirical depiction, but a real depiction of what goes on in the school system. And I like it. There are some educators that don't like it because they don't like the way the principal acts. But I mean, it's some principals out there that they just there to collect the check. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. Completely and totally 100. Okay. So yes, you guys make sure you check out Abbott Elementary. Abbott Elementary comes on
ABC on Tuesday.
I know it's on ABC. Hold on. I'm trying to see what time. I'm trying to get him the times. It comes on ABC on Tuesdays, but I ain't got no time for y'all. It's not 7. It comes on after. I think it comes on at 8:30, 7:30 Central. I will change that if I find differently, but that is the time. But make sure y'all check it out. It's really, really funny. Quinta Brunson, who I probably was introduced to Quinta from a Black Lady sketch show. She was doing BuzzFeed before now. Before then. So she's a very talented writer. Super excited about the show. It quadrupled in ratings. First time that has ever been done on ABC. For a sitcom, had quadruple ratings. So she's doing well, and let's keep her on TV. All right, here we go. Janet. You want to kick this off, Wendy?
Well, of course, it starts off, they go to Gary, Indiana. And I think Janet Jackson and Randy Jackson, they're executive producers, so they decided to do this.
Yeah.
So they drive into the house of Gary, Indiana, and they come across a mural for the Jackson boys, Jackson 5. And that was the first time she ever seen it. That was interesting.
Well, let me say this, because a lot of people were complaining because he told her where they slept. When Janet moved to California, Janet was a toddler. So you don't have a whole lot of memories of it. She was like 2 or 3 when they moved to Los Angeles, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead.
Yeah, you ask me anything about Germany, I would not be able to tell you.
Right.
And so, yeah, they go to the house, and it looks like the house is like a museum.
Yes, they preserved it. And somebody keeps it up because no one stays there at all, period.
And so Randy was telling her where everybody slept and everything, and then you get to the beginning where their mom was working at Sears and dad was working at was it a mill or
steel mill? I'm sorry,
steel mill. Mm-hmm. And so And so then, you get to the stories of the Hollywood stories and how, people used to look at them all kinds of crazy and all kinds of this and stuff like that. Then, um, this is what I can recall. Then Janet was talking about how her dad heard her sing playing in their studio, and he told her, "You're going to sing."
Yeah, that you kind of skip some parts, but yeah.
Oh, go
Um,
ahead. Go get to the part that
so
I skipped.
she really talked about how, her first job, they infiltrated the whole family into their act.
Their
Uh,
variety show,
their
yeah.
variety show. So they started the variety show didn't start where it was televised. I think with CBS at one point, but before they
Mm-hmm.
got to that, they were working Vegas. So and they were doing 2 shows a day. So when she was 7 years old, she was on the stage. You know, I don't think Janet wanted to.
She said she wanted to go to college.
She wanted to go to
She
college. She
wanted
wanted
to,
to study business law. That's what she wanted to do. And
but
so
Joe Jackson said nope.
right. So when they got through with the Vegas stint or whatever, they got her into acting. So she played Penny on Good Times. That's a role
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people know her from. She played on Different Strokes. She was Willis's love interest on Different
Was
Strokes,
it Chanel, Sherelle, or something like that?
something like that. Charlene.
Charlene.
And she also was on Fame, but Fame was a little later on.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think she wanted to do Fame either.
she did not want to do Fame because at the time. So let's talk about that. There was a household rule in the Jackson household that you could not leave the house until you turned 28. They had a big old compound. You got tired of me, you go to your room. We ain't got to see you for another whatever. So I think Mike might have been the only one that actually stayed at home till 28. I think everybody else was like, whatever
So
little
they got
sham marriage,
married.
yeah, cause whatever little sham marriage I got to do, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's go, girl. You look like you love me. Let's go get married. They wanted to get away from under Joe's reign, although they're appreciative for the work ethic that their dad instilled in them. And Janet tells a quite different story than maybe Michael does, or that Marlon probably would tell, or that what Jermaine would tell. It's differences, if you will, in that. So with that being said, um, you have to take all of that into consideration and just kind of think about, you know, uh, the differences. She got a different, although she got the same Joe, she got a different Joe because she was so much younger than they were. They had already toured the world and stuff before she came on the scene. So
Right.
her dad, it with this control thing, they had a studio in the house. She liked to play in the studio, so she did it. She left the reel on. And when her dad heard it, he was like, yeah, you finna sing, sister. That's what you about to do. So he had complete control. So her first 2 albums didn't do well at all. And they didn't do well because her dad had this cookie cutter image of his daughter, and that's what he wanted to portray. In real talk, honestly, I think
Mm-hmm.
any father that managed their daughter probably wanted them to would have wanted them to stay in that cookie cutter mold that they have because it's their daughter. They don't see their daughter as a sex symbol. They don't see their daughter as, they don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
So Janet also got married to get out the
To
house at
James.
the age of 18 to James DeBarge. Now, a lot of people feel like Janet did not answer the question about the secret baby. Okay. For as long as I can remember, there has been a rumor that I heard that Janet had a baby and she gave it to Reby to take care of. Reby said no. I had my own kids.
And even Deborah Allen said she was working.
She was
We
working.
saw her.
We saw her. She was working. Where the baby at? So a lot of people are concluding that Janet had an abortion. Now, let me say this. Birth control at that time did make you gain weight. I don't understand how people are so far away from the time period, because when I first started taking birth control in the 90s, I gained some weight. So it does cause you to gain weight, depending on what type of birth control that she was on.
Mm-hmm.
She gained a little weight. I could get behind she gained a little weight.
Okay. So was it me or was Bonnie DeBarge and Elle DeBarge, their mother was on there talking about the girl was pregnant and had the baby and everything, and they saw her pregnant? Okay, I'm seeing somewhere. I'm thinking it was like on one of those extras and stuff like that. Because the girl said
So
she didn't watch the documentary because she's denying that that Janet
well,
Jackson.
James got on.
The,
So James, let me say this. James had continued to say throughout the years that Janet had a baby. However, James did this documentary and James did not mention the child, period. Period. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
I don't
But
I
that was
mean,
I was seeing. I'm trying to see what was that I saw.
I don't know, but how was she if she was working during the time that she was supposedly pregnant, how would she be able to hide that?
Exactly. That's why I
That's
was like, I
my
didn't
thought process
understand it.
behind.
And
So
so
Janet said
the
she ain't got no
girl had
baby.
some kind of DNA test with the DeBarge mama, and it was saying that it was a 95% chance that they were related. I was like, Lord Jesus.
All right, girl. Look, all right. I also know that the DeBarge families they indulge in the drugs, all of them.
Yes, they do.
So you know, I'm not gonna go with that. When James was saying it, I said no, that baby's still high. He's still high.
Mm-hmm.
Left that baby on a wedding night in the hotel room to go
For
do the drugs.
4 hours.
To go do the drugs. Um, she was on birth control. She was on birth control. She did her thing. It is what it is. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
She
um,
got a divorce from
she got the divorce
James.
from James. I like how she skipped past Bobby Brown though.
Man,
We
she
went
sure
straight to
did.
Renee from Bobby Brown.
So my thing was it supposed to be James DeBarge that they put on the Bobby Brown movie that she was supposed to be married, or was it Renee? Because they both light skinned. And so the way they had her, that she was already probably did control.
She
So
right, so she was older than 18 at the time. She got divorced from or annulled from James. I think it might have been Renee. We didn't know she was married to Renee.
right.
She kept that a total and complete secret. But we had no clue she was married to Renee. Okay. So we skipped over Bobby Brown. I just want to put that out there right now. I felt some type of way. Janet, baby, you 51, 52 years old. You gonna tell the truth. You was letting
We
that
know
man get them
you
cakes.
you
And that's fine
sure
because it was
was.
Bobby Brown. And at the time, I had a crush on Bobby Brown, before I knew the drugs and stuff. But still, I digress. I do not. Not now. No, no, no. He don't look like he did then. Um,
Oh, please,
so,
yeah. This
this
Brown, what
Bobby
it say?
Brown right here.
Bobby Brown went from a tenderoni to a rice-a-roni. Am I
So,
lying?
I know you're not. You're not lying at all. A whole rice around it. Um. So yes. So she hooked up with Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam, which is my favorite producing duo of all time. There are some producers that I'm total fans of, but if I were to meet Jimmy and Terry, understand
Didn't Jimmy Jam look kind of sickly though?
he older, he probably lost some weight. They probably told him he was diabetical and had to lose some pounds. I don't know. But again, if I was to meet them, I don't care how sick he looked. Jimmy and Terry, I'd be boohooing crying. I just want y'all to know because I love them. They are phenomenal at what they did with Control, what they did with Rhythm Nation. Amazing, phenomenal. I was very, very happy with the change in the sound, and that catapulted Janet to where she is today. Like her changing
Mm-hmm.
that sound, that maturity. Um, when I think about that, Aaliyah made kind of a change, if you
Mm-hmm.
will. She was wearing baggy
Mm-hmm.
clothes all the time and doing that, you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
she made that change when she got with Timberland and made that change and Are You That Somebody? It was
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It was phenomenal. So it's something kind of similar to that, and I'm thinking that they set Aaliyah up kind of sort of the same way. Um, but I love that change and that music. I did not realize how involved Renee was.
I did. I
Well,
did.
this is what I thought. This is what I thought because when she did the interview with Oprah, when she did the hand picture,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Renee was her choreographer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. What I did not realize was that he was literally in control. And so you went from one situation where somebody else was in total control of your situation to this
To
new
another.
situation where this man is in control of everything. And it was like, well, they were like creative partners. No, that man was in control.
Mm-hmm.
He
And
was
that was
in
his
control.
hand. That was they was like they was wondering who
Yeah,
hand that was. It was my husband's.
yeah. So, um,
So now because I remember she had that song called um son of a gun
mhm,
on her All For You album,
mhm,
and it was all about Renee.
yeah,
So but you gotta understand he did help catapult her career like that though. Some of his ideas and stuff. So I was like, okay,
well,
maybe not the Control album, but all the other albums he did help her with ideas. Like when they was talking about the video again, he
I
was
get it.
telling them.
I get it. I get it. I just feel like she went from one controlling situation
Hmm.
to the next. That's what I think.
Hmm.
Um,
And she noticed she didn't mention anything about her third husband.
I think he has a gag order.
Mm.
I believe he has a gag order. Um, she got her money. She can't really talk about him in the press and all that stuff. That man is fine, but I don't know if I would have converted my religion like that to the Muslim faith
Some
for a man.
coins.
I wouldn't have did that. Um,
But okay, so we was talking about the Control and every on the Control album. So it really catapulted her to this success, but she was always living underneath her brother's shadow, basically.
Absolutely. They showed
Um,
that first album when
every
she was doing the
time,
tour.
every time she would go on an interview, the question is always about Michael. And she just didn't like that. I mean, I wouldn't like that.
Well,
We
I mean,
always
it's the same. You see that with Beyonce and Solange. You see that with Ray J and Brandy. Like you've
mm-hmm,
seen that throughout time. You got two
mm-hmm.
famous siblings. One is a little bit more famous than the other, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's Brandy's brother," or "That's
Or Britney
Beyonce."
Spears' sister.
Yeah, that's Britney Spears' sister. That's Beyonce's sister. And they want to get away from that shadow because, yeah, this opportunity that they were afforded had to do with their family members, you know.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't want to be, I want to be able to make my own mark. And so I totally completely understood that.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I understood that.
And I don't know. Do we got time to talk about the whole thing?
About who?
'Cause I think the whole thing. We don't have to
No,
cut it
we're
up
gonna
in
have to
part
get
one.
off soon. We're not. We're gonna have to do
Oh,
a part two. So,
okay.
those are our takeaways for tonight. If you are watching this after the fact, join in on the conversation. We want to know what your takeaways were from part one of the Janet Jackson documentary. If you have not seen it, it's pretty good. A lot of people
Mhm.
had complaints about them using Renee's videos. And they were like,
But
it's
if that's
grainy.
all that they had, I'm sure they compensated him for those videos.
Did they what now?
Compensated him for those videos.
What do you mean compensated? No, I'm sure they did, but I think the complaint was they could have remastered them so that they could look their home videos. So they did. You dropped some chips. Their home
So
videos,
it's authentic.
right? So so yeah, they're being home videos. A lot of people had complaints about that, and they were like they weren't too keen on the home video thing.
Oh please,
So
your life.
right, right. So so that was a thing. Um, and they really didn't feel like she really opened up and answered the questions that they wanted answers to. So I get it if you didn't get the right answer to everything. I think she was a little bit more open on part two, and we'll get into that.
Yeah,
Once
next week.
once we we'll get into that. And also talk a little bit about Rhythm Nation because I love Rhythm Nation. I definitely love
Oh,
the album.
I
Um,
love it. I went to see her twice,
you told me,
and that was for the Velvet Rope tour
which
and
I bet was amazing.
the Velvet Rope, and then was which one was the other one? Was it be the? It was the Velvet Rope. I know that much, and then it was the Janet.
Okay, okay,
My beautiful sister took me to see her, and I was just so happy.
yeah, awesome, awesome. Okay,
So,
um, well, make sure y'all check it out. The documentary is probably on Hulu,
hmm
on Lifetime, on the Lifetime app, and also on A&E. So make sure y'all go
hmm
back and watch it. If you missed it, you want some questions there. I want to join in on the conversation. Make sure y'all check it out. All right,
well, we gotta
couple.
go.
I'm just
Oh,
couple more slides, and then we gonna go.
okay, okay.
First of all, Black Monday, which airs on Showtime, they have been canceled. They will not be going forth with the season 4. I love Regina Hall and Don Cheadle together. They are amazing. This group of actors and actresses, this was a comedic, it was a satire on the fall of the stock market in the 80s. And they called that day that it took place a Black Monday. And so they did, it was really funny. It was hilarious. Kadeem Hardison was in the first season. He played Regina Hall's husband in the first season. They kind of fell apart because, well, Regina and Don had this magical chemistry. Their characters did. But if you want to check out the first 3 seasons, it is super hilarious. It is on Showtime, probably on Showtime on demand. So make sure y'all check that out. And for those of you who are fans of Raising Dion, I enjoyed the first season. I've been waiting on season 2 to come out. Season 2 of Raising Dion will air on Netflix starting tomorrow, February the 1st. So make sure y'all get ready for this little boy. I was hoping he had grown a couple of more inches, but make sure y'all check it out. It's a great story. They left us on a cliffhanger, and I feel like I need to go back and watch the first season all over again because it's been like 2 years since they aired the first season. So make sure y'all check out Raising Dion. It's about a little boy who discovers he has superpowers. Michael B. Jordan pops in and out too. He is a producer of the show. And Michael B. Jordan also was his father. His father died. They have questions about how his dad died, that sort of thing. But make sure y'all check that out too. Good stuff on TV. Make sure y'all watch. Y'all got any ideas for any shows that we can add to our repertoire? Anything you want us to review? Anything you feel like we need to be watching? Y'all hit us up at the size of 2102 at Gmail or get us in the inbox and we're here. Wendy, did you have anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have any picks of the week. We don't. We talked about basically the picks. Grownish is back. We didn't talk about Grownish tonight because we wanted to get up as much of Janet's in as we possibly could, and it'll probably be the same way next week. But I'll switch it out with some other shows. So make sure y'all come back and join us on the next episode. I ain't gonna say next week. I'm not gonna promise next week, but on the next episode of It's On. We'll see you then. Y'all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful week. I'm trying to get this. Lord Jesus, he got to fix this dual screen thing. Jesus. All right. We'll see y'all later. Bye.
It looks like